Alright, listen, Shmoo.
What?
There's no two ways about it. We gotta talk about 9 patterns.
What about it?
Alright, now that it's just us in the call. Listen, bro, that shit's not real. Alright? It's not, dude. It can't be explained away. So we just wanted to get your 2 cents on it, you know what I mean? Because, after we saw that, we did some more digging and we found some other suspicious stuff. And we wanted to talk to you about it before we talk to anybody else. You know what I mean? Because this is something that, like, I wouldn't want to. I mean, I don't know how these guys personally feel about it, but we've been talking about it for a while. And I don't want to tell anybody else. But we wanted to get your 2 cents on it.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, you can agree that 9 patterns is not real. Obviously.
What are you talking about?
The 9 patterns FC. Come on, man. It's not real. Alright.
I don't know what you want me to say about it.
Well, the method that you were performing and that you explained that you're doing just doesn't add up to what we see.
No, because Friff talked to me about it, like, through direct messages.
I know, Friff showed us, but, like, it doesn't make sense. That does not make sense.
Can I ask you about this? Can you join my stream real quick?
Yeah.
So obviously this is that's the part that everyone's like super concerned about. Why at the end is there a UI there for Windows Media Player?
Because whenever I record it via video pad, the rendering is all fucked, and I had to re-record it on OBS. Because that's why when I sent the clips to Danny for Shmootage, it was something to do with my OBS that I had to constantly re-render so that he can, what should we call it, edit and all. So I do the same thing with my uploads.
Alright, well, listen. So, like I said, after we watched that, we were curious and we wanted to watch all of your other stuff. I mean, we combed through a decent amount of it.
Yeah.
And I've written down a bunch of instances of suspicious. I don't know how you'd put it. I mean, things that don't add up. I don't know if you want me to explain them all to you, but I mean, I'd have to imagine that it's not surprising. I mean, if we really went digging, I'm sure you're not surprised that we found a lot of suspicious stuff. And like I said, I have them all written down here. Plus, I was gonna talk to you about this at the meetup, but I forgot because we were all having a great time, and it was, not too big on my mind. But I mean, like, and other people are talking about this too, but obviously I'm not entertaining it whenever I see it or hear about it, especially in my stream. But I mean, like, I have always not believed that the Through the Fire and Flames 250 video got striked because it just, that doesn't make sense. That's what I was going to talk to you about at the meetup. I wanted to get the actual story from you on that, if you would tell me. But, we figured that there's something in here that made you want to delete it, and obviously you deleted it. I mean, it didn't get striked.
Yeah, I deleted it because it got striked.
No, it didn't get striked. Come on now.
Yes, it did.
It didn't get striked, buddy. It never happens.
Do you have an
show
email?
you. It wasn't, but I have a
some
file.
sort of proof. If you have some sort of proof, I'd love to see it. But
I have to find it. It had the thing that said copyright strike and all, and then I just decided to delete it because why would I want that there in the first place? It was I can show you it if I can find it. I don't remember what I named it.
Because we have the what do you call it? We have the Through the Fire and Flames Tech FC for ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, regardless of it not being on YouTube.
I was thankful that some people recovered it because no. in one of these OBS folders. This is where I usually put most of the things that happen in a period of time in the OBS folders. Okay, go on.
All right, so you cannot produce proof that this was copyrighted strike. Just for the record, it's not too big. It's not that big of a deal. But just for the record.
Well, if you guys want, I can find it. I can't find it right now. I have to like search through all my PC, but
that's fine.
Okay.
So
yeah.
So and you right.
Right now.
You're also going to stick with the claim that 9 patterns is real. Listen,
yes.
and all right. Listen, I'm not trying to like, listen. I don't personally want to tell anybody else about this. All right. This is like, if it were between me and you, it would stay between me and you, okay? Because I want the integrity of this community more than anything.
Yeah.
But so
I think I know what part you're mentioning.
How would you explain away the 9 patterns? Pattern 15.
Well, I talked to Frith about it.
Right. Can you explain it to us?
Tell us.
What you call it?
How would you explain it?
Here. So I'm gonna look through things as I explained thoroughly. I just wanted to read it based off that. When I found out about this method the day of when I grinded it, right? So essentially, this is not a zig pattern, right? It's like, it acts like a zig pattern, but it's not, because there's no green every other note of the zig in the beginning. So what happens is that when I hold down red, this is what I thought. When I hold down red on my fretting hand and barely let go of it to where the green is still able to be pulled off and all. But if I do that, and I was able to do a zig method that can cater towards hitting every other pattern, and which that's above red, so yellow.
I get what you're talking. I get what you're saying. I get what you're trying to talk about.
And it did, but what I thought is that I hold off the red long enough to where the other zig. Yeah, but then no. But then that's what I thought on paper, and I thought it made sense for the time being. But then, just today, I was gonna show Frith a video of me hitting it slow down until I realized that I couldn't hit it slow down until I sped it up. That I had a better grasp at it. That around 75 that I did it. That I found out that it was over tapping within the red and sometimes the yellow, not on any other note, orange or blue, but it was over tapping more so the red and inconsistently the yellow within this pattern. With the yellow though, you don't have to really worry about it. It was the red.
Alright, I get how you're trying to explain it. So, are you guys following this?
Yeah.
But then I found out, that was mainly because of over tapping. There was no way that I held down the red for that period of time to where the zig would still matter. It was when I did a fretting input within my hand that it over tapped with my red and all.
Alright.
I've done that
so
many times. I mistaken like having 3 sets on like Monster, but in the end it was all based off of over tapping.
Alright, this is not all we found. Okay, because like I said, after we after we watched that, obviously now we were skeptical. And listen, we found more inconsistencies. Ghost is bringing up one of them right now. Hold on. Okay, right here. This pattern obviously needs to be slid or something. I mean, it's it's a yellow, red, and then an orange, blue. But you just tap a quint, and it hits. And trust me,
What's that?
You did tap.
I vaguely remember this pattern, like when I was trying to go for it, and I did not exactly tap on there.
You do tap a coin.
He's tapping a red, blue,
Yeah,
orange.
He taps a red, blue, orange quad, which is arguably worse.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, actually, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
slow it down. Play it at 0.25. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're just right. You don't even hit yellow at all.
By the way, did you guys only want to do this when it was just like
Yeah, when it was just us.
you three?
Yes.
Okay.
Because we've been talking about this. So, all right, another inconsistency. So, all right, now go to pull up Canopy 2. This is one of my favorites. They don't like this one too much, but all right, it's already on there. All right. So, in between this
Paper
red
by Fred
hammer
Ghost.
on, in between this red hammer on and this green blue strum, is fret. First the red, then green yellow. Okay. Then neither of them and red. And then the blue and then the green blue chord. When I saw that, my mouth dropped.
What
Because
about that is odd?
there's no way anybody even practicing that would be able to do that. It's just,
don't-
I mean, go back like a couple of seconds, Ghost, and just play the whole thing.
What did I do that was so odd?
Just the ghosting of the fretting is.
That is way too awkward. I mean, it's just, first of all, it doesn't make any sense that you do that in the first place. But like,
I don't
that
remember
just-
the exact detail in which I did it. I just think if you're gonna go after a weird fretting like blob or mistake. just
Well,
turn
I
it
mean,
off.
it's Jared.
That's
Can
like
we
a Jared exclusive clip.
can we figure out why this and just like not only the entire video of this song looks just super inhuman and sped up, but the two reactions from here, that the fist pump celebration looks so inhumane, and as well as the end of here.
What about it?
Those don't even matter in my book. What matters in my book is at 42 seconds.
At 42 seconds,
Yeah, you
There's
know
a-
that. Slow down.
yeah,
Slow down, blue ball.
yep. So we'll put it to 0.25. There's a skip, and then you're right here. You're anchoring green, and yes, okay. Yo, at 42 seconds, you're anchoring green, which there's webcam delay, so we'll keep that in mind. And then you only switch to a green-red anchor, to a green anchor after you're done strumming. When,
On the very last drum. When you
Boom
were on it
strum.
for the last couple notes.
yeah, that's like as close as you can cut it, like right there.
What I'm thinking is correct. I would say that you somehow pause the highway, because in the highway you were holding down green red, but in the webcam you weren't, to compensate. At least that's the running theory.
The theory is that you started holding green around somewhere right here. And then you noticed some inconsistencies, and then that's why you took it down, and that it wasn't striked.
All right. Wait, Shmoo, you're still here? Are you guys still here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay.
His webcam is
Yeah.
Yep,
yo.
All right, you good now?
I'm good. Sorry, my internet has been the worst.
Okay, so what did you last hear?
I don't remember playing back.
All right, so 42 seconds in, you're on the strumming. There's a big skip, which apparently he said it's like OBS thing. But what Jobu was saying is that what we found is that whenever you actually fret green on your webcam is when you would do the last strum of it. You do a down strum.
But you're holding it before it as well.
You're holding it before it, and there's this big skip right here. That makes it seem like you're holding it like this entire time.
And then the running theory is that the webcam doesn't line up with the highway, so you just stop the highway.
What do you mean stop the highway?
Like you screenshot it right here, have it play until it gets to whatever timestamp would be right here.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Just to give you some time to make it look more realistic, because the green is not being held down.
Yeah.
And the webcam green is being held down at the very last strum only, because it lines up with the strum bar.
Maybe that's the
Not
case,
the
maybe it's
webcam
not,
delay.
but the fact of the matter is that green is not held down here until
The last strum. Yeah.
So it just makes absolutely no sense.
Wait, so you're trying to say that the green's not held down at the very last strum?
What we're saying is that let's say if we could go one frame ahead and it wouldn't skip like this, that for like these next red strums all the way until this chord you're anchoring green.
Yeah.
But it's conveniently placed that you skip over until right at the end when it would be difficult for someone to notice it. That you weren't anchoring green actually on camera. Because just watching, it's not at all obvious.
Oh. Oh, I see what you're trying to say. Okay, yeah.
So, is there a way that you can explain it to make sense to us?
Because that's not webcam delay, because it lines up with the strum.
I think Shmu's frozen again.
Yeah, I think his webcam died.
Oh, good. Here he goes.
Well, I don't know when he's gonna rejoin, but
We still.
Yeah, and he's back.
I might just move to my phone and just draw off my data because I don't want to keep on disconnecting.
yeah,
But,
That's fine.
If it
That's
does
chill.
that, just do that.
okay.
You're gonna stay on your PC right now.
Yeah, if it does it again, I'll just move over to my fucking phone.
Alright.
But
So,
this is green here.
Mm-hmm.
You guys like last hear me.
You said that you finally realized what we were talking about, and then you cut out.
Yeah, I went on a rant just as soon as my internet went out that like my camera has plenty of instances in which it's delayed and all that, and people have even offered me to like have them edit the video for them to where it lines up with the video.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
alright, but look at this though. Look at this
here's the
though.
problem. That
Immediately when you on your guitar, immediately when you move to that chord is when you strum.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know,
Oh, it lines up.
you almost beat it to the strum bar, even before you hit the chord. So it's like, that green would definitely not be held down. You know what I mean? Under any circumstances, that green would not be held down.
it's not. It's definitely not webcam delay.
You know,
think
maybe
that-
there is some webcam delay there, but it's like,
No, there's definitely webcam.
You know, I'm
delay.
sure there is
There's
webcam.
delay, but it's not doesn't
matter.
matter to this part because this is, you know, this section of the screen isn't being recorded in some other instance relative to this thing. You know, it's the same thing.
I don't know. Well, I wouldn't make this as an excuse, but I don't know how you would do that, for instance. But in terms of that, like, I feel like that would just be chalked up. Because one, this was also recorded in 30 FPS. I was so tired of having to, because I've done this plenty of times with vids, I've been so tired of constantly recording videos in which they just run out of space so easily because it's 60 FPS. So sometimes I just do 30. I don't remember if I do 30 FPS with this.
True, it can't be webcam delay though, is our point. Like the
Yeah.
last strum matches with the actual strumming, and that is exactly when you shift to a green-red chord.
Yeah.
That's perfectly in time, and it's very obvious that on the highway, green's being held before that.
But aren't I raking here?
You were raking, but you
doesn't
downstrummed the last
matter.
chord.
Yeah. So we could see exactly where it lines up.
Okay. So you're saying that I strummed before I fretted?
Saying you strummed and fretted at the exact same time despite your fretting already being there. Like, why are you changing anchors if your anchor's already being held down? Like, the webcam, we're saying the webcam and the gameplay aren't part of the same recording.
Oh. I mean, last time I checked it. Well, I mean, like, I'm looking at it too, and it is off. But in any case, like, I just remember doing that. It just
All right, go
it definitely
to
looks off. Is there anything
pull up
else?
pull up 8-bit out verse 130.
Yeah.
All right, we've seen it all. We've all seen this a million times. So just go to the ending.
Well, okay.
Full screen that bitch, please.
I'll do
Or-
this.
Or do that.
So, do you want to talk about the trips, or do you want to talk about the sustain at the end first, Jared?
Nah. Well, I don't know. What have you guys thought with
Jared's not gonna care about the trips because he's slow as fuck. I just think it's insane that you keep up with the trips, given the fact that like literally no one can do that perfectly. Like you don't fall behind at all.
Yeah, that's, this is where my mouse is at, and then that's where you hit it right here. Here-ish.
You never fall behind.
And that's where you finish.
What do you mean never fall behind?
Like the notes never go back. And that's something like
Yeah.
we or
Like below
no
the
one can do.
Like
Yeah,
below the
never
strike
go below
line?
the strike line. Yeah.
Like where you start tapping at the first part of the trips, and the hit window, that's where you end. And that's like faster than, anyone.
What are you trying to say that they hit immediately at the strike line like a bot?
I'm saying it's just not a deviation where you hit it relative to
I'm
the
saying
strike
it's
line.
odd that you never fell behind. That the notes were
is
hit
like-
in the same place
Yeah.
every time.
If you were to go for something at your max speed cap,
Yeah.
which this is obviously has to be right around there.
No, this
Normally
is.
you'd go super close, like
Yeah.
you'd have some that go behind the strike line at least.
Yeah. Or it would just go travel the distance,
Yeah, strike line doesn't even matter. It's just the fact that the exact place where it starts is the exact place where it ends.
Either way, that's not the biggest thing. Just go to the end. Okay.
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 You
So
hold down yellow. But yellow's
Am
lifted
I like
off on the
keep
game.
holding it down or something?
Yeah, you keep holding it down. I think you know that.
immediately off the sustain, you let go. Which this, if we were to pause it right here, it would be webcam delay, and you're like, yeah, well, obviously that makes sense. But if we slow it down,
Can
two
you guys
things
see
happens.
that I'm holding it down?
Yeah.
Because I don't because I of course don't exactly remember this particular moment in which I'm holding down a yellow,
Yeah.
in which
That's
I
fair.
have to like pull off
Alright.
or anything.
Yeah, that's fair.
But we're
But
showing you inconsistencies that we found.
Okay.
hold on.
What is it with this?
So with this,
Seems
this is at 0.25. We if we play it just a little bit before, and then the game automatically pauses, and we can see you were holding it down because then you lift
Now
off.
you lift it up. Yeah. The game
Well,
automatically
when I-
pauses.
You don't see the keyboard though. The keyboard is right below my desk.
It is under your desk.
Yes, that's what I use to pause.
I don't know where.
That's what I also use to activate, and so on and so forth. I did it.
So you have like two different binds on your keyboard that you activate star power and pause with your feet.
Yes.
So how do you explain the yellow then?
So why is the yellow not being held down?
You guys cannot particularly see that I'm holding down the yellow.
We can see you release it though. Like,
There's a lot of
there.
instances where I would not want to use
That's
something like
not-
this
but-
as evidence, but in this particular video, I think you can see that very clearly. Your finger doesn't come off like at all until then.
You can't, unless I look at this in full screen. Like, I get what y'all are trying to say, and I'm still trying to hold to the fact that I'm true to this, but like with the yellow, it doesn't. It will look just as if I released it, just like, you know, the way it looks. Like, I obviously just don't remember this exact moment, so for me to, you know,
Yeah.
think about it consciously, but it looks
Okay.
there. To me.
I'm on the actual video. I'm fucking retarded. Okay. Is it? Where's it at?
Fuck you.
This is Uber E.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're citing this obviously because this is anyone's on crack to try and alt tap this at full speed. But with sliding, you know, it's pretty obvious when something's being slid, such as descending trips, because you see like a blob of notes getting hit, you know, just like all at once, and then the fretting input comes in. You would also usually see like
Play the
an
vid.
orange.
Play the vid. I know what you're talking about. Just play the vid.
They're just all hit so consistently, as if somebody was all tapping them.
But you can obviously see though that I'm also ghosting other notes within that pattern, though, right?
No, you're not ghosting anything. That's another thing. Is that orange isn't even hidden.
Not within this trip pattern. I've hit trips so many times like that that it does not go past that, and I can still slide it. But I'm talking about the one after.
Well, what we can say is that that's where you start. That's where you end on the sliding. And then there's obviously the stupid thing right there with the two notes. But, like, there's basically no losing of the hit window, despite you changing methods and having to tap 64 NPS trips. And the sliding just doesn't make sense at all as to what you would see with sliding of trips.
So you're trying to say that I barely get out like a 10 millisecond hit window?
Like you're hitting these.
So
It's just like you're not hitting these how slid trips will look. It looks like you're all tapping them at a slower speed, and that this hit window or this highway is being sped up to normal speed.
Bring up geometry.
No.
Geometry's too dark to be used.
Yeah.
You don't want to
yeah.
bring up the X chords?
What we can do is we can bring up this.
Oh, MMK with the mic.
MMK. You straight up just aren't tapping like a different speed after like 700 BPM. You're just tapping the same speed the entire time.
I'm tapping at a fast speed. Like faster than 700 BPM. Whatever it is.
It just doesn't. When compared to, say, arches, you can, you know, aside from like the difference in mic and stuff, you can just hear the intensity and the frequency of it just increases with the song. And then he's ghosting that in a pattern, which I think he did it in the actual correct way of tapping it for that kamikaze. But for like a good like 20 seconds when it's increasing. You're just not tapping faster.
I don't know. The thing is with that, there's also been plenty of instances in which people say like, "Oh, it looks like you're tapping a lot slower," even when I'm like in a live stream. And also, mind you, that I've also done the like, it was like the 936 on like live stream runs before up to on MK, like way before. But like even so, that I've had that not like that issue, but like that whole thing where like people are saying like, "Oh, you tap a lot slower than like what it sounds," even though it's like on a live stream and whatnot.
Right. So what I will say is that we don't think you're a bad player, and that like, if like let's say for whatever reason all of the videos are fake, we don't think that you're like some dog shit like medium tier player. You know, like we don't think you're playing on hard difficulty.
Obviously, very clear that you are an extremely skilled player. You know, probably better than all of us. But
But it's just like the spikes in difficulty, and then like when it spikes in difficulty, we usually find like more instances of things being just not very, just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if you want to go by one of each individual thing, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know that it's really worth it.
This would seal the deal for me. Can you replicate your prevail method?
Yes, I can. I've done it with random before. You can ask him. I don't want to do it now because I'm high as shit and I'm trying to comprehend everything you guys are saying to me right now. But I can do it for you later, or you can ask random when I just did totally off the cuff raw. But like, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like I remember Randall
Just like-
saying that he was not
Yeah, but you can-
satisfactory.
Yeah, but you can ask him. I showed him too, like the method on. I hid it right in front of him, and he, agreed. Unless he all of a sudden
Listen,
changed his mind. Listen,
if-
I want you guys in this case to go over everything, rather than just say, nah, let it off.
Listen,
But what are we
if
trying
you
to
were
grasp
to, if you were to tell us right now that yes, some things, some accomplishments, doesn't matter how many, some are faked. Then I would still, I would have a lot of respect for you for saying that, and I certainly would not tell anybody else. I would keep it between me and you, and I really care about the integrity of this community, but you have people. Maybe we can actually like talk about it and figure something out. But like there are people out there who are doing just as much as we are right now. And they're definitely not going to be nice about it. Like they are looking to
Yeah.
Bro, there are people out there who are really looking to expose you right now. Seriously.
I'll just go ahead and say it. Us three were, VCing like the past couple of days for hours at a time, looking through this stuff, and unprovoked, I was sent a message by Joby saying the bakery's going crazy, and there was probably 10 to 15 people in VC just going over clips of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah, go ahead.
If you no, like what I was saying earlier, if you gave us some sort of a concession, we are not bringing it to those people, and I mean it's staying between me, you, all of us in this call. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. We can figure something out. But like, I don't know, man. I feel like if all you're giving us is like, that you just are gonna stick by your story. I don't know. I really don't see this situation ending well. I see this ending in like a community collapsing event. Seriously.
Yeah, it's gonna be that, and if unless like let's say like tomorrow or whatever, you find proof, hard proof that the vid did get copyright striked, that pretty much that would do a lot for me.
Yeah, you would also have to replicate a bunch of stuff on live stream probably.
Yeah,
I'm down to do that. If people
and
are skeptical, but I will say one thing after this.
but if that doesn't happen, and you just kind of say, well, in your head that you're legit in every way. It's not. I'm gonna keep looking, but I'm not gonna be terroristic and about it. There's gonna be a lot of people that are not us that are gonna try and slather the fuck out of your name and just smear you, everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
May
it's
I-
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
The vid of Flames did get taken down by a strike, but I will say this is one of the few times in which I tried to do anything suspicious. Everything else that people are looking at is going to be, as far as I'm aware, legit. Okay? But I will say with Flames and a couple other ones that are primarily old, that I have done some suspicious and non-authentic stuff. And that was particularly with the Flames vid.
Which old videos?
Can you point that out? Can you at least point it out to us on the Flames video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it's not the cam. It's in no way the cam.
Mm-hmm.
And nor is it the webcam. I think you guys missed we're focusing too hard on that, but it was not the webcam. It was not the camera in it being sped up. Go to Twin Solo. Fucking pizza. This is not Twin Solo.
I'm gonna be real. I don't fucking know which one Twin Solo is.
Twin Solo the one.
Okay, just the one where the camera angle changes. Hold on.
Is it that one?
Yeah. Well, slow it down.
There we go.
Okay,
Here.
so go back to the beginning and slow it down.
Oh, this is the one where the
there.
section doesn't start at the very beginning.
I want you guys to look at it and see if you can see the error that I made.
This one with the trips at the end where the yellow's held down? Because that's the only thing I saw in this clip, is where the yellow's held down at the very end the whole time.
Is that it?
The yellows hold down the whole time? Wait, what do you mean by that?
On the very last two trips, it's held down. Like, it's solidly held down. That's the only thing I saw that was suspicious in this clip. Like, it never, it's
Yeah.
never...
Bro, you saw that and you didn't say
That's not-
anything? I did not notice that.
Well, what is
Oh
it that we're
my
missing?
God, bro.
If we
Well,
missed
it's
it,
not that.
is
It's
it
not
this? Is it this drum right here? That's like the only thing I saw.
that. No. Hold on, look at the score. You play the whole thing and look at the score. Just go back in the beginning and play the whole thing. And just look at the score.
Oh my god.
I will say that in this instance, this is one of the few times I've done anything non-authentic and suspicious.
You got points for a sustain when there was not a sustain?
No. Only for it to pop up.
Oh.
Oh my god.
How the fuck did we not...
Yo, oh
see
dude,
that?
people are gonna find that though.
So is this like a segmented Twin Solo FC?
Yeah, that I did at 250.
Okay, so this is you playing through the whole section. You just overlaid like two different highways together. Like splice two different
No.
highways, or what is this? Like, how did you do this? I'm confused.
There's no way it's. Is it spliced?
It's-
Is the highway spliced?
This is not sped up, nor is it, well, yes, it is spliced for just this section in particular.
I think I can see how you did it. Probably you were probably doing runs, and then that was the farthest you got an FC up to, and then you just hit the rest of it, and then slammed it in there.
No, I don't think you hit the rest of it because the score wouldn't line up on. Wouldn't line up nearly
Well,
as close.
the score doesn't line up.
Well, no, I'm saying if he spliced it like that, then the score would be reset to 0 if you hit the fucking, or the part that he messed up to the end. It was a different run. And that's probably why I imagine there's no full combo thing.
Well, it's because the reasoning for it was when I was going for on 250. What's the section before twins?
Going for the section
What the-
before to twins, and then the farthest you got was there, so then you spliced the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, you said there was a couple other old ones.
Yeah. Why do I have to look?
What else?
Just can't remember.
I mean, obviously, listen, 9 patterns. I'm not buying it no matter what. So I mean, I know. I mean, you stick by your guns
9
if you want, but
Yeah, I'll sit by them too, because I mean I was there to witness it for 9 patterns. But I will say, from here, well, as long as along with what I said for the Flames 250 vid, that these are the only things that I've done. Everything else that you're seeing or have been seeing, you know, that
now what are you gonna say if somebody finds that in the Flames 250 video?
I'm willing to own up to it. Because, I mean, you guys are telling me that there are supposedly 15 people trying to slander my name under a couple vids that I've done in the past, and including
There
one
are, bro.
on much recently regarding the Flames 250 vid. That I'm willing to own up to it.
So why does it require us getting you into a VC with us three to call you out?
Wait, say that question again.
Why are we having to call you out for it? And then, why aren't you just owning up to it before
Owning up
us?
to what?
Well, I mean, I think the answer to that is pretty obvious. I mean, obviously he doesn't want to be caught.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think anybody would want to be caught. But
Yeah. Do you know the other videos that you said weren't honest, or?
I mean, you guys are telling me everything already that I stopped looking forward for a second.
come on, I think you know what they are.
No, dude. Trust me, you guys are like,
Well, then there's got to be a lot. There's got to be a lot then.
no, there's not a lot. I'm looking at all the videos. I'm trying to pinpoint the exact one. Okay. One of them was Lakeen accurate. Or not Lakeen accurate, Lakeen 180.
The Lockheed and Lockheed 2?
Yeah, that duo. And particularly with Lockheed.
Is he gone?
I think he's gone.
Okay.
So 9 patterns
Yeah, Jared, I'm there with you on that video.
is real.
Yeah. Yeah. What did I say, dude? I said, Flames especially, there had to be something in Flames.
Yeah.
It's anger that I missed that shit.
Yeah.
I think if we looked, I mean, obviously, I would have been looking. If we didn't have this conversation, I still would have kept looking.
Yeah, I mean, also those 15 sweats are going through that video so
It's
hardcore.
Still looking through, yeah.
Bro, they were finding shit that none of us found. That was like crazy. So, um,
Hello?
yo,
Yeah.
you're on your phone now?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the deal with these ones?
I guess. This one has way too many. This one has way too many inconveniences for it to be like on the camera.
What do you mean?
How do you mean?
Like what I do here on the camera doesn't add up to the highway.
Oh.
Like you're saying it's suspicious, or you, like, what is it that you're doing that you know doesn't add up?
There's the speed of most things on here.
So what does
But
that mean?
I can
You're
tell
not
you
tapping the
first.
right speed?
Yeah, I'm not tapping the right speed. I can tell you one hand, this is not a genuine accomplishment. The 180.
So you're not tapping the right speed.
I'm not tapping like at the correct speed for any of this. Particularly in the fast sweepy bits, like you should know. Like I know guaranteed that this is not particularly authentic at all.
But what do you mean? Like
So,
what?
so here's my question then. So you're telling me you don't have the speed for Lockheed 180, but you had the speed for 8-bit uppers C130.
Not at the time for because when I did that, I was like uber warmed up. This was just like during a session where I just didn't match up to the speed of the song on when I did it on camera.
So what do you mean? Well, like, so this is a different highway and a different webcam, two different
Yes.
runs.
Yeah.
So then did you just have a bot hit it or something? Or did you like slow it down and speed it up?
This is also this is also a splice, this one.
Where at?
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't remember which because this is such an old vid.
How has nobody noticed this?
Would it be noticeable in the score?
No, I don't particularly know, but one of these is a splice.
Or you don't know which one it is, 2 or 1?
No, it's definitely in this 180. No, so that doesn't make sense, that very outro bit.
How did you get the full combo screen?
It's gotta be. This is what we were talking about earlier. I think that this has got to be done with Cheat Engine or a similar software, because the way you guys were describing it to me, I can't imagine any other way that something like a board like this could be replicated. Except with some software that would hit inputs automatically, and it would produce the FC screen.
This is not Cheat Engine.
But how do you get the FC
How
screen?
did you do it?
Within the chart, because I don't remember in which particular spot it was spliced and all, but within this chart, I changed it to where, in which the part after I spliced would be notes that are not really particularly in like these patterns. It would just be a simple like strumming or trill pattern that I
Gotcha.
did before.
So you just
so
have
the
to
notes
you
would
just
line
have to
up?
play up there, then be brain dead, play after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would the notes would line up.
I also always wondered, but I think that pretty much answers it, where the Jenny Wife screenshot came from. Because at one point there was a Jenny Wife FC screenshot. but then the FC was in practice mode. I never made a
Well,
big stink
well,
about
also for this, you're only tapping 3 times for these first 4 quads. You do a tap,
it. Oh yeah.
a fret, a tap, and then you go to green.
Then you switch. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you only tap 7 times here as well.
Yeah,
So
and
that-
here's
so
the
that's
thing.
not
This
real.
is the other vid. It's this one.
All right.
And I think there's one more. Yeah, there's one more.
I think there's a lot more than that. You know what I mean? I do appreciate you coming clean with these videos, but I do personally believe, I don't know about you guys, but I think there's a lot more.
I think there are.
Especially in some of your newer FCs, because just the timeline on some of those just doesn't make sense, man.
The timeline.
Like,
Like
yeah,
how
like,
fast you did it.
how fast you did it, and just how you were so clear that you were gonna get them and the bounties associated with them. You know, and
No,
when you
I
did,
can. I'll swear of one thing. I did not illegitimize anything on the bounties, because that I would feel totally dishonest. But of course, I obviously did, all the suspicious stuff in the past, and including the Flames techie. But in no way would I do it on the bounties.
I am appreciative that you are, at least pointing
yeah,
things out to us.
I do appreciate that, yeah. And I'm not
But
gonna go to anybody about this.
but it makes me kind of just feel like I should write everything off. Like, kind of makes me not really care about like any of these, because it's like, you're telling us, things that we didn't even see. So it's like, well, what else?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see how we would feel towards your accomplishments now. I mean, like, obviously, listen, like I said, the last thing I would want to do is go, like, blow smoke about this on Twitter and be like, look at what Shmooey just told us. You know what I mean? Because, like, I obviously don't want that. I want this community to keep growing, and, like, obviously you aid community growth. But I mean, like, we had to bring this up to you because it was on our minds for a while, and especially with 9 patterns. I know you're still claiming that 9 patterns is real, but I don't think it is.
I'm willing to, do a re-FC of the thing on in front of you guys, given the time and date. But
if you have to re-FC with that method, it's not gonna happen, bro. It makes no sense. I don't know, like,
Yeah.
I don't doubt that you could probably FC that song, but like, not the way you got it, and not that easily, and definitely not the way you slid pattern 16 too.
I can do it the way I did it, just in front of you guys. I don't mind doing it. It's just,
Well, I don't even care. Like, I wouldn't even want that. It's just.
but how else am I gonna? Because
I don't know.
I've done the majority. It's just like, all this is coming to me at once, and I can guarantee you that some of the stuff is not authentic, but it's very small amount. And I wouldn't go as far as to say, much other things. But most of the majority of these things, like, I would totally be dishonest if I got a Space Race FC, but I've seen it happen right before my eyes. But, like, of course, I've done just other things in the past. That's all I can ever tell you, that everything else is honest. Other than the recent one being Flames, which gave me, like, the last taste in my mouth of just, like, being totally dishonest with what I do. Which is why I'm trying to step up to, become a better person, being a lot more bold and cautious of what I do, just like exactly after that, because it's weird.
So for this one, I brought this up with Joe, but I don't think Jared really cares because he doesn't know how to strum fast. But I'm the one solo too on 125. Joey and I separately counted the strums, and We came up with the
it's
number.
around 42, 45, 44.
I got 42, he got 44, and there's 52 notes in this section. And just like looking at like your speed, and just from playing the section myself, like this does not look like anywhere near fast enough that would be required to replicate this highway.
I was wondering if you were gonna ask me like to vibrate in front of you, because I would have done it at, I would have gone full force at the North Carolina meetup and possibly hit some of these sections and all.
Well, I mean,
It was solo 2 125. Well, I don't know about 125, but like, because that was just, a thing that just happened out of nowhere. But
yeah, I mean, I probably did have preconceived notions of going to do that, but obviously we were all super fucked, so I kind of forgot.
We were all really having a good time, So.
yeah, I mean, I kind of wish you guys brought this stuff to me in person, because it would have
Well,
settled things a lot.
we weren't really talking about it back then. I was gonna personally bring up Flames 250 to you, but I just forgot because we were all having a great time. It didn't like come to my mind.
Yeah, but like all these clips and instances we've discovered in the past like 3-4 days at best,
Yeah.
At least I have. I know Jobu has been with it a lot longer. But
yeah.
Can you explain your prevail method, Shmoo?
I explain it another time, because I've explained it so many times to random and you too that I much rather, because everything's being hit at once. I don't know if I want to pull up anything in game right now.
okay, well, if you want the least amount of doubt casted, obviously get that done as soon as you can, or else time.
Well, I don't even know if that would be the best idea. I mean, like, here's the problem: is that like, I don't know if people were, I don't know if this is on people's minds. Obviously, I mean, I guess definitely some people have been thinking about this and investigating into this, but like, dude, when the non-patterns video started making its rounds, oh my god, man, dude, I mean, I'm actually telling you, everybody's talking about this right now.
Yeah.
Because of the non-patterns video. The non-patterns video, everybody seems to be on the same page with, and that has just sparked like so much doubt in like the bakery, and just within really anybody who's seen it or has been told about pattern 15 in it. And I don't know. I just like I don't know what's gonna be made of this situation. I would say that whatever they're gonna call out, I would be prepared to try to replicate it. Come up with something, you know what I mean? And unless you just want to come clean about it, and yeah, I mean, I don't really know what the best outcome of this situation is, but I mean, I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'll act like I don't fucking know anything, and I'll just keep doing my thing. But I don't know. Maybe this situation will blow over. But
well, no, I told you everything. I mean, there's also one other vid, but like I told you everything that I've done. Some suspicious shit and all, and I've done some stuff that is not entirely authentic.
Which video? What's the other one?
Because I always just kept in my head just 4. It would be the whatchamacallit, where is it? Oh yeah, okay. It would be the synth battle versus Zeppy, 125% speed tech FC. At the time, this is because I hit Solo 2 Ultimate Finale 125, but this one is not in particular anyway authentic. Everything else is fine up until Solo, or the Quince till Solo or Ultimate Finale.
everything up till ultimate finale?
No,
good.
so the twins to ultimate finale is when none of it is, authentic and all.
So what is it that isn't authentic about it?
Well, it's the same deal with what Teen Accurate 180.
How did you splice this though?
Yeah, where's the splice? Do you remember?
Again, I don't remember, but it's in this one too.
I don't know. A splice just really doesn't make sense to me. The splice made sense in Twin Solo because you could see the splice, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. This just seems like
That's because it was
a
an A
program
to,
to put the inputs in.
an A to B position with flames and all. This is just the same section. Except the chart is edited to where it's not the same particular pattern of notes. It's like a trill before it, and then I hit the rest of the pattern.
So how would it not be noticeable though in the highway?
Yeah, that's what I'm not understanding because like in Flames, I get it because the
Well, like, let's say he
golden
FCs
ring
up.
is out there, like-
Well, Jared, let's say he FCs up to here, right? You know,
Yeah.
let's say it's like 10 seconds before this. Like, I'm not saying that's what it is, but he could get, like, 10 seconds, if you were to just do straight strum notes up to then it'd be, 35.1 NPS. He could put it at like 40 NPS so that there's a gap of like 2 or 3 seconds where there's no notes being hit. And then he could splice it from where he starts.
Alright, I get all that. I get it. But then the FC ring.
Yeah, the FC ring. Well, I mean-
the FC ring just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Unless you cut it
Perfectly.
and put it on somehow. The new board or whatever, but like,
And then would the webcam be like a completely different thing? It would just be you recording it?
yeah, the webcam I guess would just be him playing along with it. Oh man, Shmoo, what are you doing to us, dude?
These are old ones. I know.
Like the new, like 9 patterns is so suspicious that literally everyone's talking.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you might as well just tell
Like-
us about 9 patterns too, bro.
I-
at this point,
I've
yeah.
already said what I said about you guys and Friff. But
The
I
Dude,
did,
method-
I don't know how Fripp accepted that explanation.
The method doesn't even like make sense compared to what you do in the webcam.
Yeah, like you said you're fretting a quint.
yeah, because that's what
correct.
enables the overtap. In the way, it's the way like being sin hid quints, like in general, like a descending, yeah, particularly descending quints are just like really intricate quad patterns. Like,
Well, where are
descending
you?
Totally
Where
not writing a quint though.
where are
Yes, I
you
am.
doing the fret? Which finger is responsible for 2 frets being hit? Is it the middle finger doing a red yellow? Is it pinky doing a blue orange? What is it?
Well, sometimes I do the finger with red and green and red, or pinky to hit blue and orange. That's what I did at first, and I still do it sometimes.
So which one do you do for this one?
It would be the pinky to the blue and orange. The thing is, though, is that I had to do it so fast and sporadic to enable an overtap. I'm pretty sure, because
So earlier you were saying that like
I mean, this is just only my theory, because I've hit it before plenty of times like that. It's just because before I slowed it down, I wasn't even hit it at all. But now I'm at 75, and it made sense to me that when the red was like over registering based on the way I hit the quint, it was
But-
over tapping.
it doesn't make sense as to how the red could register that much.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know,
Like
in my eyes, it's not authentic, but it's not even that big of a deal. Like, I mean,
I don't
I
know what
just-
you mean,
I-
Jared.
well, where I'm going with this is, if I'm gonna believe this, I'm not gonna take any explanation. I truly do not believe this, and I'm not gonna take any explanation unless I saw you doing it. I would have to see you doing that method, and I just don't see it being possible. How do you guys feel about it? I mean, I personally, if I'm gonna believe that, I have to see this method.
I think
I've
that
never
the
heard
method
of
that
it.
he's saying is like. So at first, what I thought he was doing was I thought he was doing a zig, then pulling off to red, and then I thought he was tapping, and then it would pull off. That's what I thought he was doing. So at first I was like, okay, so he's like boomer tapping, but alt tapping at like really
That's what I
fast
thought.
speed.
That's what. All right, that is Shmooey. That's what you explained to us first. The first time is you explained to us that you barely, licked your finger off of yellow and then you hit orange. But what you just explained to us now is
No, that's
You're
not what I
up.
meant to say. I meant to. No, not that. Not off of yellow. I meant off of red.
Yeah, but now you at first you were saying like a different method, and then Friff told us that you discovered that it was over tapping, and then that's what you're saying your initial method was with over tap in mind. But
Well, at first I thought it wasn't over tapping.
but
I
how
just
do
thought- I
but
just
how
had
do
a
you
flaw that
sit?
I thought that in my head on paper, that's how it worked. Is that I would pull off the red to hit the other, if that's above red, whether it be yellow orange or yellow blue.
So if that's the case, then why is it like when you slow down the highway, it's so clearly like quint and then a quad over and over? Like those are the inputs. Like if you slow it down and go like frame by frame, it's a quint, and then it's followed by a quad every time. Like the correct method. Like that's the correct method. That's the method we think you should be doing.
Quint trip, right? Or quad trip is what you mean.
Well, it would hit the same way, the way I'm doing it now, if I were also doing like a quad there, because obviously it's alternating notes that are higher than yellow, blue, orange, and I'm tapping that.
And then you're saying all the reds in this section are responsible from your fretting hand.
Yes. Because of the guitar and all. So when I did this, that's what it may look like.
I just don't see how.
It is what it is. That
Like I've talked to Sydney about rake strumming in the past before, and that's going to be very damn similar to like over tapping and raft net. It's actually going to be even faster, and like the gap, the distance between in terms of time between like say like a 2/2 strum bar on the down and up is like 5 to 10 milliseconds. Like it's not a lot. So like on a piece of hardware like RAFnet that pulls at 1000 ms, or 500 ms, whatever you're doing, have it set to, like you literally have to hit the fret, you have to tap a note and then be off it within like 10 milliseconds.
Like, it's gotta be over tapping for a while as well. It can't just be like a
Yeah.
flicker.
Yeah, like
Well,
it's
I've had that plenty of times before, even on my strings when I casually hit solo F buff at like just like first try or solo F125 way back when.
like after you were playing or before you were playing the section, you just saw it flickering like without doing anything.
Yeah, even sometimes when I played, but like that was with a different guitar.
Okay,
Or
but
a
how do
different
you
neck.
but how do you do runs of this song and then say, well, the intended method is for my guitar to fuck up, and then that's how I'm gonna hit it?
I didn't have the idea of that. You missed that. I had the idea that the method that I was thinking of in my head on paper was working the way it was going to. And I didn't even think of this method as big of a deal. I was still trying to focus on solo 16 and also with this,
Yeah.
I didn't have the idea in my head that it's over tapping and I have to abuse it to over tap.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think the method, like the correct ghosting method of quinting on tapping hand and tripping on your fretting hand, is a very big brain at all. I think that's pretty damn obvious when you stare at this. So like,
yeah.
the method that you're using is like the exact ass backwards thing that I would think of. Like that's what I think like a brand new player would say that you would have to do or something.
Yeah, I don't know why you
I-
would do the easier method.
I would not go. Well, I looked at it and I was like, this is just a lot more convenient because I'd rather do trips on here than quinting. Like, why would I just tap a quint when I can just tap a trip?
But then you're
I think-
fretting a quint.
Yeah, and I'm also fretting a quint.
Yeah, fretting a quint is much more difficult in how you're describing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'd much rather tap a trip that's forgetting about the fret part. I would just much rather tap a or tripped in a quint.
All right, here's what I think about this. I think what you're telling us is not gonna fly with like everybody.
Anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that nobody's gonna buy that, and you know, I mean, I don't know what the best explanation would be, but I mean, I think you gotta find it, dude, because that's not it. Like, I mean, this is gonna be what people are asking you about mainly, because
I don't know what else to say than other one I just said already. It's just that I'll definitely admit up to my mistakes and flaws of what I've done in the past up until now at this point, but
man, dude,
Yeah.
what a shitty situation, dude. I don't see this ending
Okay. Well, for
clearly at all.
all right. Well, I mean, you obviously aren't in like the best state of mind, you know, being high, so that probably doesn't help in any regard. But I don't think there's a lot more for us to talk about currently.
Yeah, probably not.
well, I'm still down to go through every video that's been, you know, inspected on or whatnot. It's
Well,
just
this is just us.
okay, yeah, but here's the thing, right? I'd much rather be less of a thief than I am authentic. And of course, I mean, like, in the sense I, you know, did not totally authentic things, which makes me a little bit of a thief, but like, that's just only a small percent of it that I did. That's obviously does not make any excuse for me that I've done that in the past. But with everything else that everyone is expecting, you know, and looking at, it's just only those particular things. And if people want me to show about with 9 patterns, with what methods I did, and hitting solo 15 consistently, I'll do it. I'll do it, and I don't want to get paid in the process, you know, with donations and stuff. I'll do it.
Dude, you better get practicing, because I mean,
I don't need to
know.
practice. It's just like, you know,
Alright.
as of right now, I can't. It's hard right now, but like I'm willing to, like, you know, go through it and all.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I think what do you call it? I mean, I guess there's a chance that like nobody says anything about it. I don't know. I guess if like people don't find anything in the Flames video, and I mean, I guess there's a chance that nobody says anything, but like I feel like the first thing, if anybody makes a Twitter post about this or something, I feel like the first thing they're gonna bring up is this.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I mean, if you can replicate it, then I mean,
I
guess
don't want to replicate anything in the regard that it's me setting up a false narrative that I you know hit this, like,
Well, you're
you
telling
know,
us
that
that you did 9 patterns legit.
yeah, I know, but you say the word replicate, and it's in the sense that I'm trying to, like, you know, formulate some sort of fake explanation in regard to all this. When in my mind, I was there for it, and I think, like, you know, as odd as it sounds, and as odd as this whole minor situation is regarding 9 patterns, it's like,
Well, it's just be
It's just
prepared
like-
to re-FC this song or this section. You know, be prepared. And
I'll FC the section with the method 50 times, and I'll re-FC it. However many, not re-FC, how many times.
Talking.
all right.
Yeah. But,
That's the main thing. There's like nothing else that somehow got brought up.
I mean, the Flames video's out there, so I mean.
Yeah, I
don't
know, but like,
If they
obviously,
find Twin Solo, then.
no, I don't care if they find it. I mean, at this point, maybe I'll just set myself up to get, you know, go public about it. But like, in regards to everything else, I mean, obviously, people are not wasting their time because they want to make sure and all, because I get where they're coming from. But like, there's nothing else to like.
I mean, well, then you saying that to me is telling me there's a lot more out there. So
Yeah.
I don't know if they will find it. Or
Okay,
not,
yeah,
but,
okay,
I
yeah,
mean, we
obviously.
found some stuff,
But like, to me though, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Like, there's nothing else that I've done.
Those are the big hitters.
Yeah, there's nothing else that we found. Yeah,
Nine patterns to almost everyone is fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9 patterns is real
That's
bad
probably
right
the
now.
biggest hitter. And then there's stuff like prevail pattern.
Yeah.
But prevail pattern, again, I've had randomly, like, you know, it's just tough right now. This is all getting hit at once. but I want to be a competitor at heart, and I want to just play to be the best and all. It's just this finally gets opened up because it was also at tough points during my life. Even specifically Flames, the Flames techie. I guess it was just something that got brought up. Like whenever some just current bad situation happened, it just led me to do that. Just out of like some sort of bad feeling. But I mean,
I'm sure shit's gonna get released about it, and I'm sure people are gonna make like lists and shit. So I mean, as long as you could like completely set everything they say straight and replicate it perfectly, and, like do the FC.
I'll
so you can
replicate
run.
and I'll admit too. It's just everything else. Because I mean, I look at my set of accomplishments, aside from the ones that I faked, obviously. We look at trophy rooms, so like I admire it a lot with all the triumphs that I went through with some of these accomplishments, and people are gonna all look at them and be like, you know what, I'm gonna look at that with a big question mark regarding, since he's had history with a couple other things, and I don't know whether or not those. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, like, in the end, I'm playing for myself, but it's just a really bad thing to feel about now.
Yeah,
Well,
dude, I mean,
I really I do appreciate that you are being upfront and not just trying to
Yeah,
throw
there's
shit.
not one thing I'm gonna say that's gonna come out of my mouth that is an utter lie regarding, like, obviously I've held in some shit, but if you confront me about it and whatnot, that in the setting it is, I'll own up to it, because I would be a fool if I didn't. So
well, I mean, listen, like Ghost said, I do appreciate you owning up to some of it and like, explaining a little bit more of the situation to us. I'm sure that your head is probably not in a good space right now. Yeah, I mean, we had to talk to you about this though because I mean, if only just to give you a warning of what's coming, dude. Because I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's one of those things that people just get bored of looking into, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems like people are really adamant, especially when I saw what was going on in the bakery.
Yeah.
Uh, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I'm not really that concerned right now. It's just more concerned, like, long term, what people are going to think like 3 years down the line of all the accomplishments I've done and the accomplishments I'm going to continue doing, especially more that I'm trying to stream now that the year is done, and I want to have my plan of having 2 jobs and all while I have to stream my grind. It's just,
Well, I mean, I don't think this is gonna affect any jobs, though. If that's what you're
no,
worried about.
no, not that I'm going to affect any jobs. It's just going to affect all the accomplishments in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't think the community's ever really had a situation like this, so I don't know.
No,
It all comes out on the
the
timeline.
last time anything like this happened was with Matham back in that time period. So
Yeah.
it's been a fucking while.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going to come out of this situation, if anything, but I don't know. I mean, like, obviously, we're your boys, and I mean, I'm obviously, I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, I'll still be here. I won't even talk about it on stream. I mean, I'm especially not going to bring it up. If somebody brings it up on stream, I'll brush it off. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to be as, like,
Nah, I mean,
honest you can be. Well, honest
so
as
what?
you can be.
You want me to tell them what you just told us?
Fucking fake
Yeah,
genuine.
Shmooey told us all this, so he told us this.
Well, not
No,
because,
we're
well,
not gonna talk.
I'm no. I'm gonna admit it later on. It's just whatever you say on your mind. Like, it would think of myself differently that I'm, like, forcing you guys to, you know, speak out your thoughts and all if someone approaches you with that sort of question.
Nah, dude. If people come to me on stream, I'm not fucking talking about it on stream. But the people are probably gonna assume that we knew about it the whole time. Anyway, if it comes out. But like I said, I my opinions on the situation definitely differ from other people's. You know, I've told these guys that like I'd prefer to, you know, have the conversation with you and then just keep it between us. Um, but after what I saw today, after I saw people talking about 9 patterns today, I don't know. It it really seems like a lot of people are looking into it now.
Yeah. I have one more question for the schmooster.
What's up?
So,
Are you
this has
not
always
sure?
been on my mind. I've always thought that it looked weird. I thought that it was spliced in some way, but I
This
didn't
is
really
not
think that was
spliced.
possible. This is not spliced, 100%.
Hmm.
Because like this is where I would think it'd be sliced, the freeze right there. Because the webcam doesn't freeze, but right here it literally completely freezes. And it goes. That's what I've always thought. Like you see what you can see how I could think that, right?
Yeah.
The freeze right here. That's the last thing. I always thought that it was odd.
Yeah,
and
because
it
to
looked
me that
kinda
looks like
spliced.
the only couple ways I explain that is the entire video would lag, which obviously the webcam isn't, so that's not the case. And then it would be able to game lagged, but it's like, well, you didn't miss, so like, you know, you would have
Well,
missed.
just because the game lag doesn't mean I would miss. Of course, I don't exactly remember like agree like what kind of like spike this is to be like the game and all, but like
I just feel like it's so perfect that because you were grinding it for so long that you probably hit this transition and you
couple
like maybe
times.
fucked up right after
Yeah.
and then you just spliced it. That makes the most sense to me.
no, because well, I mean, yeah, obviously that could have happened, but like when you after you hit the quad shimmies and all, I had a good grasp of just trying to maintain myself because they're just simple patterns, and then for me to get back onto FC and the whole thing. Of course, that doesn't. I mean, that's completely off the topic of this looking weird and all, but
Okay. Well, that was all I had. That's the last thing I wanted to talk about.
All right. Well, I don't know. Are we done here, or is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
if there's
No.
anything I want you guys to do, to be as honest you can be 24/7 in regarding to this.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
that's
I
all
guess
I
if
can do.
there's I guess if you want everything that I know, there's only one more thing that I know about really.
Uh-huh.
That looked pretty weird.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So in this, it just like I'll just play at full speed. Like you're constantly raking. You know, you're not stopping. But in between each of these gaps, like in between these trills, I think there's only one instance in which you're ghosting. I think it's that first one in which you ghost a yellow, or the second.
It's the first and second one.
Yeah. But everything else, there is zero ghosting whatsoever.
Well, you have to like this one. It alternates within a different fret, and this is also not on 60 FPS because immediately afterwards, when I streamed in the summer, Will taught me how to like have a better OBS and all, to where it streams to like 60 FPS or 59.94 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
It would still detect inputs.
Yeah, I mean, like you see how you can see the fret head itself, like doing such a small thing. Like you can see, you know, like the flames are at, like it just doesn't look weird. It just doesn't look it like right there. Like you would definitely notice ghosting from how you're raking. Like, that's a big enough gap. And right here, but there's like nothing.
Okay, yeah, but you also have to take into account that, I mean, I just always don't want to chalk it up to this, but this is what I've been dealing with. Like most of the time I play is that there's camera delay, but then also it's within it's not like it's 30 FPS. Most of the instances in which I record 30 FPS, it doesn't look all that ghosty. Even though I spammed a lot in the first place, like back then, it was not as ghosty.
Well, the webcam delay doesn't really matter much because you're just constantly raking. It doesn't matter what, like
Yeah,
your
but
hand does not
could-
stop.
It could be behind though, from when it hits the nose. So I could be still raking a red yellow, and then I transition to a red orange. You wouldn't see any ghosting because I'm still just delayed with doing
mean-
a red yellow rake.
I mean, we can see it right there though. Like, all right. Well, I mean, that's the.
Again, like I am trying to explain this, but like obviously I had to go through so many quirks with like software and all. This is a 2016 pre-built shitter, and like, you know, I mean, it's obviously not so it can run Clone Hero just fine. It's just, you know, I've always messed around with OBS because I've always wanted like a good look, but I always have to juggle with like whether or not my computer can withstand like running OBS at that high of settings. But I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, all we can really do is take your word for it.
I mean, yeah, I get
I
the
don't-
POV. I get the POV, guys. You know, you've been expect everything. You think, you know, obviously with 9 patterns, it's one thing when I think, you know, the different and all, but this is
Yeah.
like all I have to say.
I mean, listen, I hope you don't think of us differently after this, but I mean, like, you know, obviously we had to bring it up to you because. I
Yeah.
don't know,
Regardless of what I think.
So many people talking about this right now.
Yeah. Like, regardless of what I think, if I thought everything was completely legit or false, like, I would want you to be aware that people are like, and getting ready to witch hunt. You know, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
even so, say that the worst situation came of this, where it's like the worst thing upon my name. And even then, it wouldn't even get to that serious. Obviously, I am going to own up to because it is serious because people are going to be skeptical whether or not bounties were involved, which they weren't involved in any of this. That would just be stealing at that point. But even so, like, what was I going on about? It's tough.
all right. Well.
Like most of the time I'm playing for myself to get as best accomplishments as I can. I'm not trying to seek out, like, I can obviously make money from it, but that's only for sure. I don't want to make money from, like, you know, cheating off of bounties, even though I do bounties already, but I wouldn't want to cheat off of it because I always seek out difficulty. It's just like the period of time I just, you know, I just did something dishonest. That was just a negative mindset.
Alright, well, listen, I hope you don't think differently of us. I mean, we're not going to think differently of you. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
I just want you
is for the
guys-
community to grow, you know?
I just want you guys to know that I'll hold on to like the day I die. That most of other accomplishments are 100% coordinated, rhythmically, like, you know, full combo. Like that's all there is to it. But like obviously, there's some other shady shit that I did that I just showed you guys and all. So
Yeah.
I'll hold on to that. But you guys can obviously think whatever you want of it.
Alright, well, listen, I do really appreciate you owning up to it. I know we all do.
Yeah.
You know, just the way it goes, I guess. I mean, obviously, it's no mystery as to why anybody would want to fake an accomplishment. I mean, you know, it's the incentive obviously is there. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's there's no really there's no more.
Not much to talk about anymore right
Yeah,
now.
there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing really else to talk about. So. All right. Well. I'm sorry, Shrew. I mean, sorry.
No,
about
it's
this
good.
with you, dude.
It's good.
I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah.
But you know, yeah. I guess just get ready for I don't know. Start preparing something, dude.
Good.
Because I
Good
feel
luck.
like people are. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Good luck, I guess. Because I think.
I hope.
I don't know. Unless it blows over somehow, I don't know. I think people are about to start witch hunting. You know, like we said.
I'm not too like intimidated by it, but I do have my reasoning that I can explain a lot easier even through text if I have to, but I'll definitely own up.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Yep.
I guess we'll see what happens.
But also, you know, they get the big clarification that there was nothing else involved.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna get going. So
Yeah, I'm gonna get going as well.
I think-
But
I
I
think
again,
that's good,
Shmooey,
yeah.
I mean, we all appreciate you coming clean to us, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm not going to anybody about it. I know these guys don't want to go to anybody about it. I mean, I guess we'll leave it and see what happens. You know.
Y'all can, like, if that's the case, be honest as you can. I want you to be like autistically honest in this regard.
I do want to tell some people. I did tell a couple people in DMs that if I found out anything, because I wanted people that weren't just like some brain dead retard from the bakery, like, oh yeah, fuck Shmooey, he's fake. I wanted people who like actually knew what was going on, and like actually know how to hit buttons in this game.
Uh-huh.
So, I will probably report back to them in some manner.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to tell, any of the people that were in VC today in the bakery because that's just a shit show and I don't really want to be a part of that.
No way. I don't want to be part of any of that either. Fuck that, dude. I mean, obviously I'm not in the bakery, but like,
Yeah.
I am not interested in being involved in that whatsoever. I'm not really interested in being involved in the situation at all. So, my lips are sealed, and I'm not going anywhere with it, and I'm just gonna keep doing my thing as I normally do.
Yep.
And that's all there is to it. So,
All right. Well, you'll have a good night.
yeah. All right.
You have a good night,
Peace out,
Chewy.
guys.
Try and sleep well, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll sleep just fine. I'm probably gonna call Annie after this because she wanted to call me after the VC was done.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Peace
adios.
out, man. See ya.
See you, dude.
See ya.
Well,
Yeah, immediately I
Ma.
was going.